Hi, my name is Jillian and I have postpartum depression. Yeah, most people would kind of, just write a statement somewhere, or just tell their friends and families, or write a blog post, but I like to videotape things because I'm a bit of a narcissist. You think I'm kidding. I'm not. So I was diagnosed with depression about 2-3 years ago, and before I had any kids. And then I had my first kid 2.5 years ago and was feeling pretty good. Didn't have any symptoms of depression or postpartum depression for about a year after I had her. And then they usually say if your child is a year old now that you're out of the phase of postpartum depression. That's not true. It's a hormonal thing. It pops up. You never know. It's like a little turd in the back of your brain just shitting all over everything. So once she turned a year, I started to become more and more depressed, and it wasn't the normal depression that I was used to beforehand. It was me resenting how much I had to work, and also me constantly feeling inadequate at what I was doing, even if I was doing a really great job. Being a mom is a full-time job. You know, you might not get anything done, but you kept a kid alive all day, and that's hard. You would pay a nanny thousands of dollars a month to have 24-hour care for your kid, and moms get paid nothing, or dads who stay at home get paid nothing. So it's a full-time job that you get no reward for, except getting to see your child become hopefully a good person. I was dealing with that, and then also the stress of going back to work, which I really enjoyed my job, so I kind of liked going back to work. And then I had a death in the family right away, so it was a lot of stressors all together. And then so she was already a year and a bit, and then I was pregnant again. And by this point I was on antidepressants because I like to catch things right away. I don't like them to fester. And so I was like, this isn't normal. I think I have postpartum. I'm gonna get it fixed. So went on antidepressants, found out I was pregnant, so went on a lower dosage because I was just trying to be cautious with the pregnancy. And then throughout my pregnancy, I was still really depressed. I was really struggling. And then I had my daughter, and it just didn't feel the same. I loved her the same. My heart grew. I don't love her any less than I love my firstborn. But there was something different, and I didn't feel detached from her at all. A lot of people say, oh, well, if you have postpartum, if you don't want to hold your baby or you want to harm your baby or something. I've never thought of harming anybody else in my family, especially my kids. I love them to bits. And so that's not true. It could just be that you just feel like there's too much on your plate and you don't know how to handle it, even if you are handling it. I was struggling with that, and then it got to the point where it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. So I was seeing psychiatrists, psychologists. I have probably seen about 15 different doctors. They all kind of had the same diagnosis. It was depression mixed with sorry, this is sort of a symptom of it. Jesus. Postpartum depression. Whoa, we got there. Yeah, memory loss. Your brain is too frantic, basically. You feel like you can't function. So all the doctors were saying that this was kind of a common thing that I had. And then it got to the point where I hospitalized myself in a psych ward because I felt that I was losing my mind. When you have postpartum depression, you can also get postpartum psychosis, which is, postpartum depression is, you know, the feeling overwhelmed and mixed with depression. And depression doesn't have to mean that you're lying in bed forever. It could just mean that, you can't function day to day on some level. And you don't feel good about it, and it's affecting you and the people around you. But the psychosis part is when you start kind of imagining things or being paranoid. So I was calling the cops a lot because I would just sit at the window and watch neighbors and think that they were doing something wrong, even if they weren't. I once thought that the neighbor across the street put a mannequin in their window to pretend that there was always somebody watching me. That's crazy. It's crazy. I know it's crazy. But I felt that at that moment. And then 2 minutes later, you know, you realize, okay, you're being crazy. Calm your tits. But, yeah, you don't think rationally. So I was kind of bordering postpartum depression and postpartum psychosis. So went into the hospital. After 3 days, I took myself out of the hospital because I was feeling better. But then the psychosis part kind of wore off. I changed my medication, that helped. But, you know, it's still something that I struggle with all the time. And you get a lot of flack for stuff like this. People say, you know, snap out of it, wake up. You've got kids to look after. You've got a family to manage. Stop being so selfish. Because a lot of people become destructive when they're dealing with this, because it's no fun. But would anybody ever say, snap out of it, wake up, you've got a family and kids to take care of, if they had cancer and their tumors were spreading? No. That would be the most insensitive thing that you could possibly say to somebody who is suffering with a disease. I'm suffering with a disease. That's it. I'm suffering with a disease. And if one more person tells me to just get better, they're gonna get a punch in the nose. Because I would love to get better. Do you think I like being miserable all the time or feeling guilty all the time? No. It sucks. It sucks. So it's hard with brain diseases because there's no blood test. You know, there's nothing you can really technically prove. All you can do is explain how you're feeling, and a lot of the time with people who are depressed or suffering from postpartum depression or psychosis, they can't explain how they're feeling because they don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I go to a psychiatrist and I go to the doctor and they say, you know, how are you feeling today? It's like, I don't know. I don't know. It's not making sense. I don't know. I do know that I have hope. I'm lucky enough to have a support system, and I'm also lucky enough to, still cling on to hope, because I know it's temporary. Hopefully. Depression, not so much. You know, you can feel like you have all these holes in your heart, and depression just keeps digging holes in your heart, or if you've had heartbreak or loss or something, there's a piece missing. So you try to fill it with stuff, and it's usually shit like gambling or alcohol or random sex or unhealthy things, usually. Things that can satisfy you really quickly. And that doesn't work. And so you can never fill those holes. Those holes are there. All you can do is build, you know, a garden around them and hope that the ivy that you planted will someday creep down there and just make it a little nicer. Make it a little calmer. Anyways, if anybody's suffering from depression, postpartum, or you know somebody with this, share this, or I hope that this helped you and you're not alone. I think it's like 10% of mothers get this, and you know, you don't have to be a new mother to get it. You can have 19 kids and counting and get it on your 20th. So it's always out there. It's that little turd shitting all over all your good baby smell. Shitting on your baby smell? Well, babies just smell like shit all the time anyways. Shit and vomit. Yeah, they're fun. Can you tell? Yeah, kids are fun. Okay, well, I hope you liked this. If you did, I have a new channel, and yeah, subscribe for more. I'll be updating you on how I'm feeling, and also hopefully have a few more fun things, because this was not fun. Okay, I hope you had a great day. Toodaloo.